Alrighty, let's get one thing straight. Most retro games based on movies were just as fun as watching paint dry. Home Alone 2 on the Super Nintendo, I'm looking straight at you. That game was like Kevin McAllister got lost in a fever dream and decided to fight sentiment luggage with his face. And today, we're flipping the script though, because I'm talking about the NES, Super NES, and Sega Genesis games that were based on movies that actually slapped. Games that just didn't cash in, they delivered. Now, if you think all movie games were trash, think again. Drop a comment with your favorite retro movie game, and if you say it's Wayne World on the Super NES, we need to talk.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
So let's dive into the pixelated greatness. The first game on our list is no other than Batman on the NES. Published by Sunsoft on the NES, it had tight controls and wall jumping mechanics that felt ninja level smooth. Killer soundtrack. Seriously, this thing slaps harder than Joker in a mood swing. It was loosely based on a 1989 Tim Burton film, but with way more purple enemies. A fun fact, Sunsoft didn't have full access to the movie script, so they just made Batman fight robots. And it worked. The second game on our list is no other than Aladdin for the Sega Genesis, published by Virgin Games. Why it rocked was Disney animators worked directly on the sprites, so it looks like a chef's kiss gorgeous. Sword combat, flying carpet levels, and a soundtrack that nails the movie vibe. A fun fact about the game, the Genesis version had a sword, the SNES version did not. And that's why Genesis Aladdin could actually fight, not just throw apples like a produce-obsessed maniac. We jump into the third game, which is no other than the Lion King for the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. Hold on. Before anybody gets mad at me, listen, all right? Also produced by Virgin Interactive, both on the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. It had a beautiful animation and music straight from the film. It was a challenging platforming that made you feel like Simba was training for Dark Souls. Now, a fun fact about it, the developers intentionally made it hard to prevent kids from beating it during the weekend rental. That's right, Simba was gatekeeping your blockbuster weekend. We go to the next one on my list, which is no other than Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventures on the Super Nintendo. Published by JVC, it covers Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, and The Last Crusade in one game. Platforming, whip action, and boss fights that actually feel cinematic. It was built on the Super Star Wars engine, so it's got that LucasArts polish. Now, let's talk about Home Alone 2 on the Super NES, because someone has to. This game is like if Kevin McAllister got mugged by a Macy's clearance rack. You wander around a hotel, dodging vacuum cleaners and bellhops like it's John Wick, the Lost Child edition. The controls, slippery. The enemies, confusing. The fun, missing in action. Now, drop a comment if you ever beat Home Alone 2 without crying. Bonus points if you didn't throw your controller and didn't break it, because I know I did probably. And if you liked it, blink twice, because you need help. Trust me. Like, blink, 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 blink. We're gonna go to those hidden gems that you might have missed that were so great back in the day, because I give you now no other than Willow for the NES, published by Capcom. Action RPG vibes with Zelda-like exploration, based on the cult fantasy film, but with a way more magic and less baby carrying. Capcom turned a niche movie into surprisingly deep RPG. It's like Final Fantasy Light with a dash of Val Kilmer. We go into another amazing game out there. Oh yeah, Jim Carrey brought this one to life, but the Super Nintendo and Black Pearl Software brought the mask to life on the Super Nintendo. You play as Jim Carrey's green-faced chaos machine, complete with cartoonish powers like mallet smashers, tornado spins, and balloon animal attacks. The game nails the zany tone of the movie with colorful levels and over-the-top animations. Little fun fact that you might have not known, the mask moveset is so wild, it feels like Looney Tunes met Street Fighter in a fever dream. And yes, you can moonwalk past enemies while wearing a zoot suit. We go past the world of imagination into the world of dinosaurs for the Sega Genesis as publisher Sega released Jurassic Park. You play as Dr. Grant or a raptor. That's right, be the hunter or the dino. Atmospheric music, creepy jungle levels, and surprisingly, smart AI for its time. Little fun fact, playing as the raptor lets you leap, slash, and terrorize humans like Dino Rampage Simulator 1993. It's basically Alien vs Predator, but with more foliage and fewer chest burns. We now jump into one game that I loved back in the day for the Sega Genesis because you know what? It's the Ghostbusters, baby. Who are you gonna call? You're gonna call Sega because they're the ones that published this game and you play as the original Ghostbusters. Solid side-scrolling action with ghost catching mechanics. The Genesis version is way better than the NES one. It's like comparing a Twinkie to a stale rice cake. Look, Ghostbusters was awesome for me. I love that one like hell. It was great, all right? So yeah, not all movie games were dumpster fires out there. Some were actually hitting inside your cousin's dusty cartridge bin because I know mine was probably sitting in one of those. All right, if you had a fan favorite that I missed, especially one that didn't make you rage quit, let me know down in the comments below, all right? Always make sure to like and subscribe if you want more of this retro action, all right? You have it, the Batman, the Aladdin, the Jurassic Park, the Mask, and more. These games didn't just ride the movie hype, they earned their cartridges. And if you're still out there fighting Home Alone 2, I admire your bravery, but I'm calling the Pixel Police. Now, let me know which retro game you would like deserves a comeback. And obviously, thank you all for coming out. I'll see you guys on the next video, next things, for all your hidden classics out there. Peace out, Retro Warriors.